Hey, SAG here. Recently, I was focused mostly on champion reviews, and I want to change this a bit, because I see a lot of interesting questions from you guys regarding building effective clan boss teams. I should say that I have some knowledge about it, and I want to share it with you. This is the first video focused on the clan boss itself, and I will try my best making it a start of a series. We will try to solve a problem after problem on a regular basis, and today we will talk about the clan boss with the spirit affinity. First of all, let's think, why is the spirit affinity being debatably the most annoying one? I think there are multiple reasons. First of all, there are many really good force clan boss champions, and let's just name some of them. It is Resin for sure, who should be your number one fusion priority. He does so many things. Let's name them. He removes clan boss attack up buff on his A1. He applies both defense down and weaken on his A2. And of course, he is a defense-based champion, and also he has 3 hits on his A1. Okay, who do we have next? It's Erinys, a really good poisoner. She is a part of Rising Fusion, and you should really fuse additional copy of her if you want to be set up with a good poisoner. She was buffed some time ago, now she applies poisons more consistently on her A1 and also can increase the duration of debuffs of your team, which is really good. Let's go on, and next is Eothar, a really good poisoner who works the best for a team without counter-attack champion, because he relies on his A2 to place poisons. Okay, next one is Bad El, of course, who is simply God in so many aspects of the game. He does poisons, he improves damage, heals, cleanses debuffs. He is for sure one of the most desirable champions in the game. I think you got the idea that we have numerous really good force champions in the game, and when you get one, most likely you build it with the best gear you have and use it everywhere. This doesn't sound like a problem for a person with multiple really good champions on the account, like myself, but if you are new to the game and you don't have such a variety of champions, that might be a problem. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you bring one of the champions I named before to the Spirit Clan Boss Affinity, your performance is going to be bad and inconsistent because of the affinity weakness. Second reason why the Spirit Affinity is being problematic is the Clan Boss itself. He places annoying debuff, which decreases the speed of the whole team, which breaks the rotation for counterattack teams and slightly decreases the damage of the speed teams. To deal with this, you need very special champions, those who either cleanse the debuff or prevent the boss from placing it by applying bulk debuffs. And here is the team which I'm using to fight against Spirit Clan Boss, both on Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare difficulty. It is Alten as a leader. He has a great kit, he is the best attack down champion in the game, and also has 3-turn defense up, which is awesome. Second champion I use is Martyr, and to be honest, she is one of the champions who is really hard to replace. She is a multi-tool, has attack down, defense up, and counter attack. But if you are lucky enough to have a Skull Crusher or Valkyrie, they're also going to work in the same setup. It's a shame that we have only 3 counterattack champions in the game and no affordable rare counterattack champion. Third champion I have is Doom Priest. She is the one who really makes my team work. Make her fast enough and go right after the boss, and she will cleanse the decreased speed debuff he places on your team. Works the same for the stun he places on one of your champions. My main and only poisoner is Frozen Banshee. She's an awesome rare champion. Her poison sensitivity debuff is what makes her really special. By the way, check my guide about her. And the last spot is occupied by another rare champion I've reviewed recently, and I'm talking about Bulwark. He's a debuff extender and works great on every affinity, which is different from the Void. Check my guide about him if you want in-depth review of his abilities and what is he capable of. As you might already noticed from the descriptions of the champions, I tend to use lifesteal gear on most of my champions I use for the clan boss. Of course, it is possible to replace lifesteal gear, but you need really specific champions to make it work. Too bad I don't have any of them at the moment, but be sure that as soon as I get one, I will make a review. Now let's see the team in action. The setup I use is speed-tuned slow counter-attack team, which means that all my champions' speeds are perfectly aligned in range from 171 to 190. Using those speeds makes it possible for your team to go first when you're fighting with the Nightmare boss and start a bit after the boss when fighting against the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. I think it's more beneficial to do like that compared to pushing all your team to speed range of 191 plus, which makes it possible to go first, but also makes it really harder to maintain other stats at a decent level. And I can assure you guys that you will need those stats at the later rounds, when the boss starts hitting really hard with both his AoEs and single target attacks. Okay guys, let's talk a bit about the stats you will need to successfully fight with the Ultra Nightmare clan boss. You might want to ask me, why am I talking about the Ultra Nightmare clan boss and showing you the Nightmare clan boss? There's a simple answer to this question, because the team I'm showing you is Ultra Nightmare ready, and to be honest, to achieve the result you will see at the end of the fight, you will need them to be really good geared. So, what are the stats you will need to be able to beat Nightmare clan boss using only one key? You should try to achieve 4k of defense on average on all of your champions. Of course, some of them might have a bit less, for example my Frozen Banshee and Bulwark have a bit less, but some of them should have slightly more. For example, my Martyr has 4.5k of defense. Now let's talk about HP. Sweet spot you should aim for is 40k. Of course, there might be some exclusions from the rule. For example, it's really hard to achieve such level of HP on Frozen Banshee because of your low base level of HP. I think you already got the idea what I'm talking about. Your team has to be tanky. This is the first priority to achieve such a result. But only being tanky isn't enough. Your team needs a good amount of offensive stats also. Aim for a good level of critical rate and critical damage on all of your champions. As I've already said, this team is speed tuned. It takes some rounds to set up the rotation, but after that it can go fully on auto. By the way, I almost forgot about a small trick I can share with you. If you want to maximize your Frozen Banshee's damage, then you need to synchronize your poison sensitivity debuff with Martyr's counter attack. Doing like that, I'm maximizing the amount of poisons she places while the debuff is up. As you are going to see at the end of the video, this tactic is good enough because it made it possible to one-key Nightmare clan boss and shows really good results on Ultra Nightmare. I have to be fair guys, results that this team shows are not as repeatable as I want. The reason is Bulwark's low chance to extend the debuffs. So the damage I'm about to show you on a screenshot is from another run I did earlier. While I was testing the team, damage varied from 29 million up to 40 million on Nightmare. Guys, of course I do understand that my team is not a perfect one, and of course relies on having some really good champions, but there are others who can replace them. In my future videos I will try to make a step forward in direction of making it even more affordable. We already have 2 rare champions in the team. I'm working on replacing one more with a rare. By the way, try and guess who it is. Feel free to leave the comments below the video. Thank you for your time, please subscribe to my channel if you liked the video, and I will catch you soon in one of my next videos. Bye bye guys!